Hello, my dear students. Very morning, you all. I have received your query related to the risk-bearing theory of profit. This theory was developed by Professor L.B. Halley. Our first query are related to the risk-bearing theory of profit. What is the main reason for occurring the profit? What are the different contents? All the contents will be discussed later on. Before explaining the different contents, I want to suggest to all the first question may be raised related to the by whom this theory was developed. So now first you should note the name of the theory, risk bearing theory of profits. So now, first question is by whom this theory was developed? This theory was developed by Professor F. B. Halley. It is the first query which was developed. The first question by whom this theory was developed. We should be cautious with regard to this theory was propounded by Professor F. B. Halley. The few important contents which are suggested by Mr. L.B. Halley. The first content is that is the production activity. The production activity depends on the risk bearing. The first important content. What is the first important content? The production activity depends on the risk bearing. If any producer will not get ready to bear the risk, then production activity can never take place in the business. Now, what is the important content? The important thing involved with this theory, that is the production activity depends on the risk bearing. If the producer gets ready to bear the risk, the production activity will surely start, will surely take place. Now, in this way, the business may be easily operated and run. So basically, a producer is ready to bear the risk. Therefore, the production activity or production process is going to be occurred in the business. It is going to be operated. Now, the first query may be raised that the production activity depends on. Why is the production activities occurring in the business or taking place in the business? So now you can easily reply and select the option. If the correct option, the production process or activity starts or goes to be started or goes to be operated on account of risk bearing. Risk bearing is the correct option. Now, we shall discuss on the second content. What is the second important content? The second important content is which is known as the amount of profits. Amount of profit is based on the amount of risk. Now here the amount of profit is based on or dependent on the amount of risk. If the risk is greater, then amount of profits or expectation or possibility of the profit would also be greater. If the risk involved to the business is greater, then possibilities expectation or simply amount of the profits would also be greater, and vice versa. That is to say, if the risk involved the business is lower, then amount of profit will also be lower. Now, you can easily consider it that the risk, basically a risk, amount of risk is going to decide and determine the amount of profits. This is a very important, second important content. The amount of risk is going to determine and decide the amount of profits. So now, the second important question may be raised related to this content. The amount of profit depends on which one the correct option? Amount of risk. The amount of profit depends on amount of risk bearing. If amount of the risk is lower, so then amount of profit, our expectation, our possibilities of profit would also be lower, and vice versa. That is to say, if the amount of risk is greater than amount of profit, our expectation, our possibilities for obtaining the profit would also be greater, and vice versa. Now, in this way, this question may be easily solved. Now, what is the third content? The third major content involved to the business, involved to the theory. Now, the next important content, that is the third important major content involved to this theory, that is known as the cost of staying in business. Cost of staying in business. According to Professor A.P. Hale, the cost of staying in business has been termed as the risk. If the question is raised related to this theory that define the risk, what do you mean by the risk? So then you can say the risk is cost of staying in business. The producer has to pay or bear the cost of staying in business, therefore he gets the profits in return. In other words, it may be said, I replied, that in exchange of cost of staying in business, the producer obtains the profits. Because nobody would get ready to bear the cost of staying in business until there is possibility of obtaining the profits. He is getting ready to bear the cost of staying in business because there is expectation of getting the reward. This reward is termed as the profits. Therefore, it is said so. In exchange of cost of staying in business, the producer obtains own reward. This reward is termed as profits. So now the third question may be raised. That is, what is meant by cost of staying in business is just equal to risk. The risk has been defined as the cost of staying in business. If the question is that the defined cost of staying in business, so then the option would be given as the risk. In order to bear the risk, there is possibility to obtain the profits. So I think you have considered all the major contents. The production activity depends on the risk bearing. And third, the amount of risk is going to determine the amount of profits. And third and last, how do you define the cost of staying in business? Cost of staying in business, that is just equal to the risk. So long, if you have any other query, you can raise.